Yo, so since October, I've had this dedicated office to make these videos. This whole room was feeling pretty empty, so I thought I'd put this corner to use by building this dedicated gaming setup. My single objective was to keep this desk as minimal as possible, and this is what I've come up with. Starting off with the desk itself, this is the Elevate standing desk from Hexcal. They did send it out for me to try, otherwise I probably would have just gone with an IKEA table, as I only ever game when sitting. Though having that flexibility is actually super nice for making these videos. One of the reasons I love having a standing desk for my main workspace is I have a preset setting on there so that I can film products overhead without having to bend over. Also, while I was scripting this video, I wanted to actually be at this desk, so being able to stand made it a little easier to focus. The two legs from the desk raise and lower from 24.4 inches to 50 inches, all while supporting up to 350 pounds of weight. There is some amount of wobble, which is to be expected, but overall, the desk feels stable. This height range has been great for me as I'm 6'1" and haven't had any comfort issues while standing or sitting. The black tabletop does look super clean, but I found it to pick up some fingerprints that can be a little annoying to wipe off. Otherwise, there's something about this all blacked out setup and peripherals that looks super good. Now, I've been sort of lazy with cable management. I just picked up some adhesive strips from Amazon and mounted a cable tray as well as a power strip to the underside of the desk and stuffed everything away. The only real cable issue I've had though is with these monitor power bricks. They're just so chunky, and cheaping out and not getting real command strips has been biting me in the ass for the last few weeks. Now, the chair is actually one of my favorite parts of this setup. I did want to have a separate one from the Eames replica in my workspace. This is the Zodi 2 from Hayworth. The version I spec'd has a mesh back with included lumbar support and costs just under $1,000. This is definitely a good chair, but honestly at this price point, I think that if you can find like a used Aeron, it's probably a much better choice. That said, the seat cushion does feel really good. After a couple of hours, my ass isn't hurting. One of the benefits to the mesh design over leather or the knitted fabric they have is that it is a lot more breathable, so once it's hotter outside again, this will be nice to keep my back a little cooler. I've mostly been using the chair as it came stock, but there's a ton of adjustments you can make to the lean tension, armrests, seat, etc., so that it'll feel exactly how you like. This chair can lean back pretty far, and it's how I find myself sitting a lot of the time. Over the last 2 years, I've tried a bunch of different gaming peripherals out, but I'm at the point now where I've found the ones that I really like and just don't see myself swapping them out that much anymore. The keyboard is the Wooting 68G. I have it in this gorgeous aluminum case from Mechanisk, and I threw on these black ceramic keycaps from Syracuse. The Wooting is the only proper gaming keyboard that exists. If you haven't heard about it, the quick TLDR is it has magnetic analog switches that track how far you've pressed down a key. In-game, using the rapid trigger feature, strafing and movement overall feels a lot more fluid and quicker than usual. Now, I wouldn't recommend blank keycaps for typing, but as a purely game on here, I love having these. The Wooting switches don't sound all that good, so the keycaps aren't really done justice. But I love the glossy look and feel that these have. For my mouse, I now main these Superlight 2. I've really just fallen in love with the shape in recent months, and the updated switches feel great. I have on the new Super Glides, but I will be swapping them out because these aren't as smooth as the original ones, but I've also just been having a ton of tracking issues, so if you know any good ones, let me know. Underneath the mouse is this extra large mouse pad from Pulsar, which I do really like. The all black design fits with the aesthetic I'm going for, and minus the skates, the Superlight glides nicely across it. So I'm rocking a dual monitor setup with the secondary being vertical, and I love this layout. Because I normally just have YouTube or Discord open, it saves a lot of room being vertical, but I also just think it looks cool. If I wanted to be like truly minimal, I could just alt tab, but I think this makes things a lot more convenient, so for me, it's worth it. Also, this gives me the option to stream if I ever want to. Having OBS and chat would be very nice, though even just recording gameplay if I want to put it within a video is a lot simpler. Now, the monitors themselves are from RCA. I honestly don't recommend them because for the price, there's a lot of better options out there from more well-known companies. In terms of specs though, both are 27-inch 1440p panels, with the main being 240Hz and the secondary 165Hz. I think 1440p is the perfect middle ground for gaming, as you aren't taking a huge performance hit and also have a pretty clear image. I have the two monitors on a dual arm from a brand called Urgear. It was on the pricey end, but the arms are gas springed, which coming from cheaper ones from Vivo makes adjusting the height and tilt on here so much easier. I personally think it's worth the extra cash, as I do find myself adjusting my monitor fairly often, especially if I need to get at the ports or just get a better viewing angle. Monitor arms for me are an absolute must, as the floating design looks so good and it gives you enough space to have things like a larger mousepad or an audio interface underneath. Now onto my custom PC that is powering this entire gaming setup. It has a 4080 with a i7 9700K, which yes, has Reddit scores. I am planning on updating it pretty soon along with the case and cooling, as it's bottlenecked quite bad. When I first bought the 4080, I number one didn't think the bottleneck would be that bad, but two, I just didn't want to drop like $800 on a new CPU and motherboard. I currently have this build in the Leanly O11 Dynamic Mini case, and I love it. I think it's a nice middle ground between small form factor and mid-size, and the overall design is clean. I'm keeping my eyes out for an ITX case, preferably in black or gray, and I'm also thinking about mounting it under the desk like Optimum did because it looks super clean that way. Now, two small aesthetic purchases I made for this build are the Trident Z Royal RAM and this Spider-Man Funko. For this audio setup, I spent quite a bit of money so that the space would be suitable for gaming tech reviews and if I ever wanted to stream. I went with the Shure MV7 for my microphone, mainly because I really enjoyed the SM7B that I have in my workspace. I wanted to have a similar sound signature and something that I knew would be solid. The stock windscreen doesn't do a great job filtering out those puh noises, so I bought this cheap pop filter off of Amazon, and it's done the trick. I have the mic on this low profile arm from Elgato, and I much prefer the design compared to one like the Rode PSA-1. It's a lot more compact and hides the cables very well. Back to the MV7, I love that I can use it over XLR for the best sound quality and so that it goes nicely with my Audience Evo 4 interface. I won't lie, I mostly bought this for aesthetics after seeing it in both Optimum and Andres Vidoz's setups, but it's seriously a great product. The knob at the top is great for adjusting your headphones volume, but also microphone gain and monitoring levels. While sometimes finicky, the coolest feature by far is the auto gain button. After talking to the mic for about 20 seconds, the interface will choose for you the best gain level so that your audio level never peaks or gets distorted. Finally, I have the Bear Dynamic DT990 Pros as the headphones that I use for both gaming and work. They sound incredible, and the open back design makes everything sound more natural. So this is the current state of my gaming setup. I tried to keep the space as simple as I could, and I think I've done a pretty good job there. I'm super grateful that I have this office because I can literally have a desk that's just for gaming separate from my workspace. Just being able to sit down and hop into a quick game without changing inputs and peripherals over is a godsend. This is also a great place for me to test gaming monitors, peripherals, and soon a new PC build. I appreciate you guys for watching. Subscribe and follow me on Instagram if you enjoyed. Otherwise, take care.